I'm waiting for the stinger. Hi!
Hello! Hi, everybody.
Hello! Hi, friends! Welcome in! How are we doing? How we doing?
Hi, Frankie. Hi, Roach. I see you guys. I saw you tell me to save my art file. We're not drawing. We're not playing a game. We're talking about important topics today. But I see you.
Yes!
I did drink water, though.
Let's go. Let's go. That's important. That's important.
Mm-hmm.
Very important to drink water.
Yes.
Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. Hi. I hope you all are doing absolutely amazing. Welcome in, everyone, to our fantastically queer stream. It is Trans Awareness Month, and today we are throwing a parade of trans joy, love, inclusivity, and diversity. This is our chance to lift each other up, learn from our history, and celebrate everything that makes the transgender community so incredible. We'll live, we'll laugh, we'll reflect, and we will shine together because awareness isn't just about knowing, it's about living out loud. So let's get ready and let's get started with something a little fun and a little chaotic. As is tradition here in the Club Arcade, we like to do a little intro and then we get to play a game together. We're here with the absolutely slay amazing Oddly Mani.
Hello! It's nice to meet you guys.
Mani, would you like to tell chat a little bit about yourself, your pronouns, and what you like to do for content?
Yeah, so my name's Oddly Money, as Chewy said. Though you can call me Money or you can call me Zane, it does not matter. But if you'd like to stick with Money, that is okay. I prefer he, him pronouns. Recently, I have been trying to explore my gender identity just a little bit more, thinking I'm kind of more under the non-binary umbrella, though mostly I do identify as a trans man, so.
Slay! Hecka, hecka! Oh my god, my thing went. So, I did say we were going to start with a little game. We are going to be playing a little introductory icebreaker called Two Truths, One Lie. Have you ever played before, Mani?
Not since like middle school, but I do want to know what it is. I do know what it is.
Yes, yes. So for anyone who doesn't know, Two Truths and a Lie is a little game where we will each say 3 statements, 2 of which are the truth, and 1 of which is a big old stinky lie. So, I can go first, or would you like to go first, Mani? I always like to offer.
If you'd like to go first, that is okay. I did watch some of your previous streams as well, and I almost stuck with the theme for trans awareness, but then everybody had these like cool things, and I was like, man, I gotta do better ones. So I got some fun ones now. So.
Slay! I love that. I love that. Hi, Lily. I will. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. So for my first statement, I have never played a Legends of Zelda game.
Give me one moment. There is outside noise. There we go. I just had to close my door. But never played a Legends of Zelda game. Okay.
And for my second statement, I have never played a Mario game that wasn't a party game.
Huh. Okay.
And then for my third statement, I've never played a Kirby game.
No Kirby? No Kirby! Oh my gosh. Okay. So not a game that wasn't a Mario Party game, no Legend of Zelda, or no Kirby? I don't believe that you haven't played a Kirby game. I was like, no, you gotta like Kirby. You gotta play Kirby, not even on the DS? No Kirby Squeak Squad? Oh.
I love Kirby the character. I think they are so adorable, so cutesy.
I'm gonna say Legend of Zelda game. I own both the games, but I like barely played them. So that's kind of believable for me. And like everybody, maybe like somebody's had to have like taken over like like taken you to a party to play like Mario Kart or something. So I don't know. I'm gonna go with Legend of Zelda.
Legends of Zelda? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Chat, what do you think? What do you think, chat? What do you think, chat? I don't even think my chat would know this one, actually.
Huh.
They might. They might. Maybe. If you know the answer, don't say it.
No spoilers.
No spoiling. So, for Legends of Zelda, I have never played a Legends of Zelda game. I haven't touched one.
Okay, that's so fair though.
So that was the truth. That one was the truth. And then Mario, yeah, I've only played like Mario Party, or like the driving one, Mario Kart, and I've never even played it like a lot either. It's been very, very minimal playtime. Have I done that? And then my lie was the Kirby. I played one Kirby game, a singular Kirby.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Okay, I gotta get you Dismume so that you can play Kirby Squeak Squad. Trust me. I grew up with Kirby Squeak Squad.
That. Oh my god.
So good.
I don't even know what it was. I only played one Kirby game, and I can't even remember, but it was on my DS.
It was the
I
DS.
remember it was on the DS. It was like a I don't even remember what the plot was, honestly. I just remember like the little theme song and like the star glider and being able to suck something up, and yeah, I don't know. I that was my lie. But yeah, I want to play Kirby games. I really want Kirby Air Raiders.
Oh
It
yeah.
looks so cool.
It looks super, super cute. I know that I, for a short period of time, had what was it? Kirby and the Forgotten Land, I think is what it was. And I like barely played it, and then I was like, you know what, it's not working out. But I did play Kirby Squeak Squad as a kid a lot, like a lot. So
cute. Let me see.
it's super cute.
Okay, I played Kirby's Return to Dreamland. Yeah, I played that one. Was it? Oh, it wasn't even on the DS. Damn.
That one's super cute. I know what that one is. I haven't played that one myself, but that one's a good one.
I was looking it up and I was like, what game did I play? I was like, oh, it was this one. I remember it.
That one's so cute. But yeah, highly recommend. I gotta hook you up with this Mume. You gotta try Squeak Squad. I think you'll like it if you ever have the chance to do that.
Yeah. Oh my god, I would love to. I love that. Oh, so cute. All right, Money, I am ready. I'm ready for yours.
All right. I hope I cooked with these. So I'm gonna try it and make sure not to give which one is a lie away. So for my two truths and one lie, I have been to Comic-Con for free twice and I've seen Stan Lee. I was a child actor on Disney Channel in 2011. And I have met at least 3 A-list celebrities and many other famous people.
Oh.
I hope I picked fun ones.
So I see a little bit of a pattern.
Yeah. Just
to go through, and I'm like, I feel like if number 2 is true, the number 3 could also be true, but then it would also make sense for number 1 to be true.
Yeah, when I was writing things out, I was like, I can see that there's like a theme here, and I was like, you know what? That's okay though. That's okay. It makes it a little bit harder, more fun.
No, yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh, let me see. Let me think. Okay, chat, if you don't know, or if you know, don't
say
cheat an
no
answer.
if you know.
But
I see guesses,
I feel like maybe something is true about this. I feel like I like Ronald's guess. I feel very similarly, maybe too, and it wasn't in 2011, but maybe it was like 2010 or something. But I feel the same way with number one. Maybe you haven't been to Comic-Con for free twice, but maybe you've been for free like 3 times. I am the captain of overthinking. Oh my goodness.
You're so valid for that, though.
I'm gonna say number one. I'm gonna say number one.
All right, well, number one is true. I have been to Comic-Con twice, and I have seen Stanley. I did not get a chance to speak to him, but I do have a video of him, and he did wave to me, and that's kind of like, as a Marvel fan, I'm gonna treasure that in my heart forever, you know, since he's no longer with us. But the one that I slightly altered and is a lie is number two. I was not a child actor on Disney Channel in 2011, but why I say altered is because I almost was. I had applied for, this is a long time ago, on Nickelodeon. There was an advertisement to be a part of iCarly. They were trying. Oh yeah. Yes, they were trying to scout for new people to be on iCarly. I had begged my mom. She had taken me. Nickelodeon did not want me, but there was a Disney talent scout that wanted me there. And they begged and begged and begged my mom after seeing all this stuff that she had helped me to get like professional like photos done and all these things. And I had gone to this audition. They were like, please, like, your kid would be so great for what we're planning. And all these years later, me and my mom still have these conversations. We're like, where would I have been? So at the time, it was around like 2008, 2009, and the only new shows that I could have been probably seen on and fit in pretty well was Ant Farm. So we have this theory that I was supposed to be that like smart girl on Ant Farm. I can't remember her name. I think it was Olive or something, but like that. I think
I was like super smart or whatever.
Yeah. That's the theory that we have, but I don't know if that's correct, or maybe it would have been something else, or it would have been like a smaller role, but they wanted to hire me, and my mom was like, told me the truth and was like, hey, you know, like, we'd have to move, you'd be on set, like, you'd have school on set, and I was like, no, I don't want to lose my friends at school, so I said no.
Yeah, like in the I feel like in the grand scheme of things, it, you know, probably would have been a little better to say no.
Yeah. But with the celebrities, it was mostly book signings. So I had met Billy Crystal, Sharon Osbourne, a couple of others that I can't quite remember nowadays. But my mom had met Serena Williams. That's when Cartoon Network did the Hall of Game Awards. She was sat next to her as a filler seat. So that happened, and I have met I believe I know I've met the author of Kingdom Keepers, which is that like old Disney series of books. And I think I've met Jeff Kinney from Diary of a Wimpy Kid, the author of Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Oh, it's been so long. And then I think I had also seen most of all of the cast of Good Luck Charlie at one point, besides Mia, who was Charlie, and Bridget Mendler, who was Teddy.
Yes. Honestly, I'm gonna say I got beef with the offer of freaking Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I work in a middle school, and that freaking book, holy crap, that book is always out of stock. Always out of stock.
Oh, fair.
The kids love that book. They love Diary of a Wimpy Kid, the series. He just came out with a brand new one. I'm like, Greg, buddy, Greg, you're a loser. You've been in middle school for like 10 years.
He keeps repeating middle school. He's got to be older than Roderick at this point.
No, Dad. Like, literally. Oh my gosh. But speaking of characters like Greg, I hate that character. Do you have a favorite trans or transcoded character in media?
I do. So, the most recent thing that I have seen, I want to say like a year or two ago, was the Owl House, and I loved Rain Whispers. I love them so much. They're so
I love
good.
that. I love that. Yes. Oh my god, Rain is 10 out of 10. Holy cannoli.
I love Rain.
Some of my faves are like Theo Putnam from Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Which was the Sabrina the Teenage Witch like reboot that was based off of the comic.
My sister loves that show.
Faves.
I have to watch that still. My sister loves that show. Has a cat named after Sabrina.
I love that. I love it. Oh my god, Salem, iconic. And then also Al Argent from Heartstopper. Heartstopper is actually really popular in middle school right now too. They all love it.
Oh, that's so good. I've seen that, and I know that there was a Netflix adaptation, but I haven't read the book or seen the show yet, but I have plans to. So.
Honestly, the show does a pretty good job of following the books. Like, it does a really good job of following those books. Like, not even gonna front. I think it does really well. And then my final one is Lily Hashigawa from Zombieland Saga, which is an anime.
Oh.
And probably my favorite trans character, honestly.
I have never heard of that series.
It's so funny. It's where I don't know if you've seen the GIF, but it's the red-haired anime girl and she's running out and she gets hit by the bus.
No, I haven't. Or it's like going over my head and I can't remember.
No, that's so valid. But if you, I will send you the link. It is. Yes. I love Zombieland Saga. It's one of my absolute favorite animes.
Yes, please do send me the link.
Yes, I'll send you the Wikipedia of like the synopsis of it. It is so freaking cute. It is one of my absolute faves.
I will definitely have to check it out. I'm always looking for new media and everything. Another character that like popped in my head too was oh my gosh, what was her name? She's in she's the cat lady in Arcane. I hope I wrote her name down. I feel like I did.
The VA or the actual character?
Both.
Oh, slay. Also, thank you for the follow.
Oh yeah, I've been seeing follows on my end. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Welcome to my silly little side of the internet. Let's see. Oh no, I did not write it down. I thought I had. Maybe I did, and I'm like skimming over my notes and everything, and I'm not seeing it, but... Oh,
totally
Lest! There it is, I did write it. Lest from Arcane.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh, they're trans? That's so cool!
Yeah! And so is her voice actor.
I love that. Hell yeah. It's going good. Welcome in. We are doing a trans interview here with the slay amazing Oddly Mani. Welcome in. Thank you for the first time chat as well. Speaking of characters, you know, I didn't know that Arcane had a trans VA with a trans character. That is like really cool. But in the same sort of like mention, are there any characters from, you know, different media that you headcanon as trans?
So it's so funny. Like, I was not a kid to be like, because I feel like I came out like later in life. I was like high school age and like didn't fully understand like what being trans was. So I kind of missed the whole like headcanoning characters as trans for me. Even as an artist too, like I always surprised myself with that. Or I'd see other people's adaptations of characters and be like, yes, this is good, but never like any myself. Though something that did stick with me, and when I read this question and was prepared for this, that I was like trying to think of the best thing to respond with, I was like, wait, I always loved Lake from Infinity Train, and Lake was never confirmed non-binary. So I figured that would be the best answer to this question, because not confirmed. And I was like, you know what? Though there's so much like non-binary coding there for being trans. Like there's hidden messages. I see it. I see it, and you can't tell me otherwise.
Exactly. Yes, Lake 100%. Oh my goodness. Oh, I loved Infinity Train. I watched what was it, like the 3-episode special that they originally had before the HBO had picked it up.
Right.
And I haven't watched the HBO show, but I loved the premise of it. I loved the character. I love Lake. I think they're absolutely wonderful. I've seen a lot of art from them too, but in like the same sort of the same, what do you call it, like the same part of the internet, I felt like I was kind of the same. I never really had canon anyone. I came out as like queer super early in high school, more so like sophomore level. One sec.
Oh, no worries. I see that. Drink water. I will drink water, Roach. Thank you. Thank you guys for being here too. I see my boyfriend in chat. Hi, baby. Also, hi everybody in general. My neighborhood is also loud right now. I've been like opening and closing my door. I've got some background noise, but I have to keep my door open too because I'm like, it is toasty in here. So
valid. Hi, bitch. Thank you for the chat, for the pat. I have I mean, it's been cool over here, and I'm so thankful. I updated my PC so it's not as hot as it used to get. Because holy crap, it gets so toasty. It gets so toasty, especially in the summer.
Oh yeah.
Oh hell no.
That's my PC with I think just Fortnite. Or like I can't remember what game I was playing and I like uninstalled it for a while because I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna fry my computer.
No, that's so valid. I feel like, oh my gosh, before I upgraded and added, you know, like a better cooler and everything, I was literally like shirtless half of the time on stream.
Fair.
So I'm like, well, they can't see me, so.
Yeah. The good thing about being a VTuber.
literally. But similar with you know, you and the ways that I also came out to myself, right, as like more non-binary trans coded a little bit later. I also felt like, you know, headcanoning wasn't really my thing until I heard about these characters and I was like, I see it heavy. Have you ever watched My Life as a Teenage Robot?
Oh my god, yes. Oh my god, I loved that show growing up. Yes.
Jenny, XJ9 from My Life as a Teenage Robot. Heavily headcanon to strands. And I'm like,
you're so valid for that. No, wait.
And then have you ever watched the movie Barnyard or seen the Barnyard series?
I do know of the series. I never watched it, but oh my god, you just jogged my memory. I know what you're gonna say.
Otis.
Yes.
Otis, the MC from Barnyard, is a cow, and he is male, but he has udders.
Right. I completely forgot about that.
And then there's a scene where Otis's dad is talking to him and he's like, oh, you know, remember back in the day when we would mess with your sister and blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, oh, wait, that was you. And I'm like, oh.
Oh, wait, so it's confirmed?
It's not necessarily confirmed. It was like a little bit of a joke, but I'm just like, to me in my brain, I'm like, confirmed.
That's what makes sense to me. Hearing that, I'm like, wait. So wait.
Right? Oh my goodness. Sally Mae from Hell of a Wall. Yeah.
Oh my god, yes, Sally. Morgana.
Yes, Sally.
Morgana is a wonderful person. I've heard many good things about Morgana.
Oh, so many. And then my last one is Danny Phantom from Danny Phantom.
Yes. I love that show. I grew up on that show. I would watch that show endlessly. Oh my god. Yes.
Literally. And oh my god, so somebody asked me, I think it was like 2 interviews ago, but they're like, okay, but Danny Phantom or Danny Phantom, his cousin? I said,
oh.
both.
Both is good.
Both is good. Well, Danny with the I, right? His cousin, the one who is femme presenting, also dresses kind of tomboyish, right? And so I
Also-
think that, you know, being Vlad's kid, I can definitely see them like, oh, I'm not going to be a boy because that's what you want.
Also, guys, it's been
And-
like 15 years, but so like, I'm sorry for spoilers. Isn't she a clone?
She is.
Danny?
She is.
Right. Okay. Right.
It's similar to I mean, you said you played Honkai and Hoyoverse games.
Yes.
Like Genshin, right? Scaramouche or Wanderer,
Oh, I could see that.
right?
I could see that.
Being a clone slash doll made by the Raiden Shogun,
Yeah.
and saying, you know what? No, I'm not going to be, you know, long-haired, femme presenting like you want. Once they were abandoned.
You're so right. You're so right. Wait.
Wanderer is big, heavy, trans-coded. I mean, as much as a Hoyoverse game could be.
Yeah. That's true.
I've also heard Albedo from Genshin too.
Oh my god, you're right. I used to follow, and I'm sure I still do, but I'm not like on my Instagram as much anymore. But like a bunch of artists on there that I like, yeah, they've mostly drawn Albedo trans, right?
Yeah, I see that. Oh my god, Wanderer over yonder. Hell
Yes.
yeah. Oh my god. I'm the bad guy. Literally iconic song.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
But speaking of all these different medias, have you watched the movie I Saw the TV Glow?
No, I have not.
So it is very heavily sorry, my husband is texting me.
Oh no, that's okay. I have like background noise, so I keep being like door and stuff. That, and I'm like, oh no, I gotta conserve my water. I apologize if there's any background noise on my end.
No, you're good. I can't even hear it.
I can slightly hear like maybe like a birthday party in the background or something, and I'm like, oh no.
You're all good. Yeah. I'm sorry if there's any background in mine as well.
Oh, you're fine.
Sometimes I'm just like, oh. But so I completely blanked out. Have you or have you not watched I Saw the TV Glow? It was no, right?
No, I have not.
Okay, cool. I was like, let me make sure before I say anything. So if you haven't, first of all, highly recommend. That movie is so good. It's an A24 film, so you know it's gonna be like pretty good, pretty chaotic too. But it is definitely one of those films where you could watch it like 50 different times and still find something new about it each time.
As a horror fan, I know A24 very well, so I'm like, oh yeah, there's always stuff in their movies.
It's a horror film, technically, but I feel like it's very much like psychological body horror. I'll just say that.
That's true. They do a lot of that. I will definitely look at that. Wait. Trans horror movie? Wait. Wait.
No, literally.
That's so cool, though.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine.
So, in that movie, I will say, if you don't know that it's a transcoded movie, sometimes it can be a little weird. The movie itself is a very weird movie. I'll say that just straight up. It is a very strange movie, especially for, you know, those that may not understand the nuances. But once you do understand it is a trans movie, it makes so much sense. But it actually enacted a trend called I Saw the TV Glow. And the trend was all over TikTok for a bit, and it's all about the pink glow. And what that means is it's that sort of awakening that you have. So what I would like to ask, what piece of media or what, you know, event or anything like that, because I feel like seeing the TV glow is just an analogy. It doesn't have to be a TV, you know?
Right.
It could be a book. It could be, you know, an event in your life when you went and you saw something, you saw a play or anything like that. But do you have a I Saw the TV Glow moment?
For me, I guess that would be like mostly my friends, because I don't want to say I was like sheltered as a kid, because my mom always was like, you know, explaining things to me if I wasn't understanding something at my age, and was like, no, like, you know, love and acceptance was like a part of my household. Like, we love and accept everybody for who they are. But I guess it was really like my friends in high school, and funnily enough, like I still remember this moment vividly, not really with being trans, but with my sexuality. My friend had come out to me as gay in middle school, and I stood there and was like, what does that mean? And it was so funny. But like at the time, like when they explained it to me, I was like, oh, you just love another man? There's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, you know? If you want to go out with our other friend, then do it. But, you know, I felt very, like, trusted in that moment, and then found myself, like, year or two later being like, I wish I was gay. I wish I was a man. It's like, wait a second. So that was kind of what it was for me, just being a part of the communities with my friends, and, you know, having love and acceptance from my friends was what made me really understand who I am, and continue to understand who I am even now, at my age. So not even just back then, just I'm always growing and learning new things, and learning about media, and continuing to love myself for who I am. So shout out to my friends.
Yeah, I love that. I feel like that's such a good, you know, a good moment as well too. It's very much so one of those, I feel like that's a moment that you only really get with like a good group of friends too. Talking about, you know, having different friends and I saw the TV Glow moments. Is there a person, whether that be a celebrity or a character, or even, you know, like someone you might have seen randomly, that gives you a sort of gender euphoria moment? Something where you see them and you're like, ah, yes, peak gender. I would like to be that.
Oh, yes, 100%. So, where are my Critical Role fans? Because Molly Mock Tea from the Mighty Nine.
Molly Mock, yes!
I love Molly so much. I had to think that out. I was just saying, I had to think that out for a while. I was like, if I could be one singular person and could look like one singular fictional character, who would it be? And then I was like, Molly Mock Tea Leaf.
Period. Did you see the Molly Mock cosplayer that won, I believe it was 3rd place at Comic-Con?
No, I did not.
New York Comic-Con?
Oh my gosh!
They fully embroidered Molly Mock's coat and everything, like hand crafted.
Oh my gosh! No, I have to look at that later. That sounds so cool.
It is, honestly, beautiful. I mean, the circumstance that I found out was a little unfortunate, because people were like dogging on them because they're, I mean, people who aren't in the cosplay, you know, space think automatically like bigger is better. A big costume equal better.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not the case. Like, a lot of the times it's all about the craftsmanship. And there's different awards too, and there's different competitions for craftsmanship versus, you know, like metalworking versus a whole bunch of stuff. But I won't go on my soapbox today.
Oh, I feel that though. Like, I've cosplayed before too, and like I've spoken to people once, and I've actually had people just like walk right past me. I'm like, oh, okay. I just wanted to say that I like your cosplay, but all right.
No, yeah, same. Oh my goodness, that happened to me. Oh my god, actually that happened to me yesterday. It wasn't a cosplay, but it was just, I feel like sometimes cosplaying and dressing alternative can have like very similar instances.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, I mean, to some people they think you're cosplaying, like they think you're wearing a costume.
Right.
I'm just like, oh, I'm just dressed the way I am because yeah, I think it's fun. But I complimented someone's outfit yesterday, and I think maybe they thought I was joking, like they didn't look at me or anything, and they're just like moved past me, and I was like, oh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's
Okay,
always rough.
sorry, girl.
It's like, sorry, I was just trying to compliment you, but...
Literally. So speaking of D&D and speaking of, you know, like fantasy, which video game or fantasy class would you say best describes your gender expression?
So I wasn't sure when I was trying to think this over, and I was trying to think of like the like bard and all that, like for the normal classes, but I was like, I don't know, I'm just gonna go like off on my own thing and be like necromancer. I've always found like creepy, crawly, kind of like scary stuff like up my alley. Like one of my first horror movies was like one of the Saw movies, so I thought that would make the most sense, but mostly because also I tend to like more like the punk aesthetic and like the alternative, kind of like what you were saying with how your style is like alternative outfits and everything like that. So I was like, I guess that would make the most sense for me. Like maybe it doesn't make the most sense like thinking of like the generic classes of stuff for D&D, but for me it makes sense.
Yeah, I can completely understand that though. Like I totally understand that. I feel like, you know, so I used to play a little game online called Adventure Quest Worlds, and they had their own necromancer class, but they also had silly classes, and one of them was called Pinkomancer. And it was just the necromancer class, but pink.
Wait, that's so cool though.
Whenever they summoned an undead, it would make them pink, and then they would put a pink bow on their head.
Wait, I love that. Oh my gosh.
So whenever I think of necromancer, I'm just like, yeah, Pinkomancer.
I love that. Oh my gosh.
If you were a boss in a video game, what do you think your theme song would be?
So I had gone on this like back and forth as well, like trying to think like what would make the most sense for me. And I had gone through a couple of songs, but I had to go back to my roots. I love Vocaloid. So there's this song called by Slave.vvr that I think just kind of sums everything up. There's a lot of meaning in that song as well if you go and you like look into it. So I was like, you know what? That makes the most sense for me. So for me, I think.
Really valid. Hell yeah. My answer has always been something like high energy, like super techno, EDM, like huge amounts of beats per minute. I give it like a Mario Kart, like Coconut Mall or Rainbow Road. Like it gives you such a huge burst of energy. It gives you such a huge burst of energy. Also, fun fact, did you know if you are ever working on any sort of schoolwork, documents, work, or even art, if you listen to a Mario Kart soundtrack, it gives you the same feeling that you're playing Mario Kart if you've ever played it before, and it makes your heart kind of like go faster, and it makes you work a little faster.
Wait, I feel like that's true because I think I've done that before.
I did it in university because I was like, oh, well, whatever. I'm going to put on Mario Kart music because I'm feeling silly. I finished a 5-page essay, I shit you not, maybe like 5 hours.
Oh my god,
like,
wait.
An hour. And I was just like,
Wait, that's so good though. But yeah, I don't think I've done that with essays or anything. Maybe a long time ago, but I think I've done that with just like editing or like working on art or something like that. And then I'm like, oh, I'm done.
No, literally, I did that with my most recent like TikTok video. I put on some Mario Kart music, and I was just sitting there, wide eyes, leaning in. I'm just like, yes, it's flowing. I'm in my flow state right now. Nobody talk to me.
I'm working. I'm doing it.
Oh my gosh. Have you ever heard of the term female husband or know of the book that it relates to?
No, but when I was reading this question, I was wondering if it may relate to the term male wife, but then also I was thinking if it had any links to the Marilyn Monroe film Some Like It Hot. I don't know if that was just where my brain was thinking, like, oh, I wonder if, like, that's where the origins came from, or maybe I'm, like, thinking too far ahead, maybe there were some things in the past, but no, I do not know.
So, it is similar to male wife, very similar. I believe the term male wife sort of kind of interprets itself with female husband. So what female husband is it is actually a term rooted in historical accounts, and it is in reference to Charles Hamilton, who was a fab person, who married a woman and acted as their husband in 1746.
Oh.
And so there was a book that was written by Charles Hamilton, by Henry Fielding, called The Female Husband. Now, it's very fictional. It paints a bad picture for like trans individuals because the time period, and it also added a lot of melodrama,
Okay.
But the term female husband would then be used and operated in a world where gender roles were defined as man and woman, and, women being challenged by social and legal order, even facing punishment, shame, and legal interventions. The term would defy the notion that gender was predetermined by sex.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So even though they were kind of doing the whole, it was that time period and there was disputes and disagreements, at least there was something to come out of it like that. That's good, though.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the good and the bad of things.
Exactly. Also, I would like to say, if you see, attention, Arcade Cubs, there's an ad coming. That is a 5-minute warning. I don't know why I have it as 5 minutes, but in 5 minutes, there will be an ad.
It's on the way.
It's on the way. Don't let it sneak up on you. Going forward, when did you first learn about Trans Awareness Week and/or Trans Awareness Month?
So I didn't really realize that it was a thing until 2022 or 2023, and I felt so ashamed. And I was like, oh my god, wait, I didn't know that this was going on. I don't know if I was secluded in my own place in the internet, or I was just not online as much. I did used to be solely an Instagram artist for a long time, and that was kind of my only social media. So I don't know if I felt like I was just uneducated. And then
that's completely valid. I feel like that's so completely valid, but I feel like it is something where it's if you're not super kind of looking for it, or if it hasn't popped up on your page once or twice before or anything like that, it can be so easy for it to go down, honestly, because you're just oh yeah, oh
yeah.
But so it originated in actually, you know what, I will save that, because the next question is, do you know when it was implemented?
So no, actually I don't, unfortunately, though. There's a question later on that I was like, oh, I think I read the answer.
That's valid too. So it was actually implemented in 1998. Actually 1999, sorry, scratch that. It was fully implemented 1999, but 1998 is when we got a project which was called Remembering Our Dead Project, which would document anti-trans murders.
Oh, okay.
And it would later evolve into the Trans Awareness Week that we now know of.
Gotcha. Well, it's as old as me, so it's wait, 1999.
Yeah, I'm saying, oh my god, twins.
That's why we vibe.
Exactly. Who is a trans creator, whether that be streamer, artist, celebrity, etc., that has had an impact on you and your content creation?
So I thought for a while, and I believe that I'd known some a long time ago that I couldn't quite remember the names of, but I did remember a few, and that was Snapcube, Jamie versus the Void, and currently Half and Half Madam. Though if anybody does look up Half and Half Madam, I do encourage you to be 18 plus, because she has some content that is more on the adult side. But if you look at her YouTube channel, it's kind of squeaky clean, but it does have some swears in there, and she does admit what she does for a living, so...
Valid.
But...
definitely.
Yeah, Snapcube, you know, she did the dubs for Sonic, and then Jamie vs. the Void is an animator that I've been following for a long time now, before they were Jamie, so... and then Half and Half, I've mostly been following her recently. I want to say like maybe for the past half year now or so. But they've definitely had some influence on my content, being like, oh hey, like another trans creator, you know, or just being like with their comedy, or just how they put themselves out there and how they are online in general, pretty much.
Yeah, definitely. I love that. I know that, you know, for me, some of my fellow like trans VTubers, especially like Oceanics, Blep, I know a lot of them are, you know, such big inspirations to myself and others. Especially, you know, like non-binary and trans creators, especially having such prevalent spaces, especially in a space like VTubing, I feel like definitely gives such a big impact on the content creation space.
Right.
How do you see the trans community represented in online spaces like VTubing, streaming, content creation, etc.?
So, like, until I saw your post, I didn't realize how many trans creators, especially in the VTubing space, that I was missing. Because it feels like the algorithm isn't the kindest sometimes, and, you know, I'm like, I just don't see people, at least for me, and it's very frustrating. But now I'm like, oh my gosh, I really thank you for doing this awareness month as well, because this for me also, you know, like, on my end of things, and maybe for somebody else are experiencing the same thing that I'm experiencing, where it's like, this is the first time I'm really seeing like a larger influx of trans creators that I'm like, oh my god, I can follow you, like I see you, like oh my god, we're here. We're here and we can follow each other and be friends. But I don't know if that's just for me. I had a hard time finding people, specifically because algorithm or like was pushing non-trans creators. But I do feel like animated media and just overall like movies are improving. I did mention Lest earlier from Arcane. That's where I was like, oh, there's my notes for that. And then there was also Malcolm and A Man Called Otto, which was the Tom Hanks film that was from, I want to say 2023 maybe. I could be wrong. I don't that movie's not as old anymore, or it's not too old, I mean. It's still fairly new, but we're starting to see like more inclusivity there, at least with animated media, and maybe that's like also like where I'm from, because I know I've just started being a VTuber within the past like year or so. But for me, I've grown up in such like a movie household of like, I've been shown like old shows and you know, like I know What the Birds is, and I know To Kill a Mockingbird, and like lots of like older media like that. So going from knowing media like that, and especially like animation and film, and seeing more inclusivity there, like I've noticed that difference at least.
Yeah, definitely. I completely understand. I feel like, you know, especially with in the movie world, especially, I feel like, you know, trans identities can be almost erased in some of them, but also highlighted, and maybe sometimes highlighted in a negative way. But I feel like they can definitely, you know, be positioned in places where it's like, oh wow, like I didn't even know that was a thing. Like I feel like, especially with movies in the sense of media, it can be kind of hard to determine, you know, how the growth is going.
There's definitely an improvement, but you know, I want to see more.
Yeah.
More.
In your opinion, how do you think trans identities are perceived online?
I feel like I had to like think about this for a while too, but I was like, there could be more like positivity and more acceptance, at least from what I've seen. It's kind of disheartening how there's been an influx of hate within the past couple of years. And especially like, you know, it puts you in this position where you feel like you can't be as open, or you can't be as like safe online, or just safe outside of your house sometimes. But, you know, with hate comes people that are there to, you know, protect, or to be like, hey, that's not okay, you know. And there will always be love at the end of the day, but there has been some, you know, increase in just disheartening, like, oh, you know, like, some people aren't being too nice.
100%. Follow-up question. How has it shifted over time?
It's gotten a little bit better. Like, I want to say, for me, throughout my life, it's been like, you see nothing. At least, like I said, like for me, like I see nothing. And then I see the communities, and I see acceptance. And then I see like more hate than acceptance. And then you see more acceptance. So it's kind of, it's almost like a ping pong maybe effect on my end. But there, like I said, like at the end of the day, there will always be people that love, and there will always be acceptance. So you can't get rid of us. The haters can't get rid of us.
Period. What does the word, I feel like this perfectly, you know, comes in. What does the word visibility mean to you as a creator and as a consumer?
So, with consuming, like, I know, like, I have this whole thing that just popped in my head too, of like how you see like all the Pride merch go up for Pride Month, and then like it's taken down immediately. But like, it would be nice to see just like, and I know businesses are doing this as well too, saying like on their webpage, or saying like in, what is it, for like Google Maps, or for Google for like restaurants and things like that, like, oh, this is a LGBTQ plus space that is safe for you, you know, like we don't tolerate hate here, and also just like acceptance, and seeing a lot of people be more open, especially like if you're uneducated in something, just being able to listen and being able to have like a civil conversation with somebody. Because if you're still, by the end of it, not understanding, you can always come back to it later, and you can always have like understanding and love and acceptance to be like, well, I can't say I understand now, but maybe I will someday.
Definitely. Yeah, I like that. Do you know who Gwendolyn Ann Smith is?
This is the one where I was like, wait, I spoiled myself preparing for the stream. So I was like, I wasn't aware until the collab, when we were discussing things and I was reading over things to get prepared. So now I know who that is, and that was that Transgender Day of Remembrance was founded in 1999 by the advocate Gwendolyn Ann Smith, to honor her friend Rita Hester. I don't know if friend or partner, or I'm not so sure, but to in general to honor Rita Hester, that was a transgender woman killed in 1998. So now I know, but I was not aware until prepping for this stream, and I have to be honest about that.
No, that is completely valid. I totally understand that. I know it can be honestly kind of funny, because when you are preparing for some of these questions, sometimes other questions are brought up, and it's like, oh.
I'm also so bad at history, so like all the history questions, I'm like, oh.
No, that's all good. That's all good. So yeah, definitely. So Gwendolyn Ann Smith is a longtime transgender rights activist and transgender woman, best known for her work in online activism and memorializing victims of anti-trans violence. And in 1992, she would actually persuade America Online, aka AOL, shout out AOL. Does anyone else have an AOL email? That was my first email. And she would persuade AOL to allow gender discussions, leading to the first major online transgender forum. She would also later contribute to very early transgender web development and would help create sites for key community organizations, which is super cool.
That's really cool.
And then, as you said, in 1998, Smith would find the Remembering Our Dead project, which would document anti-trans murders and would lead to the creation of the Transgender Day of Remembrance, which is now observed worldwide, November 20th, just passed. And the week leading up to it has now been deemed as Transgender Awareness Week. She would also serve on the San Francisco Transgender Civil Rights Implementation Task Force, helping advance both gender-neutral access, gender-neutral restroom access, and inclusive health benefits for trans people. And her decades of advocacy have earned her recognition, including the Vagina Warrior Award and the Virginia Prince Transgender Pioneer Award.
That's awesome. Deserved. Awards deserved. Especially for being such a huge advocate and, you know, fighting for all the little people, fighting for all the people that can't fight or that, you know, aren't able to feel like
10,000%. Yeah. I always say existence is resistance. As long as we're able to exist, we're able to resist. And for those of us who are able to, you know, have a louder voice, more power to everyone. Very, very cool. Do you have any opinions on some myths or misconceptions about trans individuals that you feel need some light shed on them?
For me specifically, growing up, I saw this and I was like, oh, I know what to say. For me, it's everybody saying like, oh, you have to medically transition to be trans. And I don't think that's true. You know, if you want to medically transition, that is your body, your rules. You are your own temple. You know, like you can do whatever makes you comfortable. But if you don't feel like that, like for me, I have a fear of surgery. I'm afraid of surgery. And I felt like at the end of the day, I'm like, am I happy? Do I feel like I need to go on testosterone? Do I feel like I need to have surgery that would make me feel more comfortable living my life? And at the end of the day, I was like, I don't have to do that. So if there are people out there like me that are like, no, like, I don't know if that's for me, you know, take a couple of years too. You may change your mind. People change their mind and that's okay. But for me, I'm like, I don't have to do anything to my body that I don't want to do. It's the same thing with tattoos or piercings. If you don't want to get a piercing, but somebody says, oh, you need a piercing in order to be like appropriately dressed for an occasion, no, you can still wear whatever you want to wear to a special occasion, but you don't have to have earrings. So I don't know if that's a good analogy for that or anything, but you know, like your body, your rules. So I think that's one of the things for me where it's like I grew up having a lot of people say like you have to medically transition to be trans, like you have to, or you're not actually trans. I'm like, I don't think that's true. I don't think I agree with that.
100%. I definitely agree there. You know, I feel like a lot of people, they put so much pressure on, I feel like, trans individuals as a whole as well. You know, saying that, oh, well, you have to be this to be trans. You have to be this to be trans.
Right.
And it's like, I don't know about that. I feel like it's definitely something that's so incredibly misunderstood, especially with transgenderism as a whole being an umbrella term for people who don't identify as their birth gender, you know, having non-binary, agender, you know, having gender fluidity, gender fluid, you know, all that, all the different gender varieties varieties out there. I don't know why that made me giggle. I was like, gender variety.
Like candy.
Exactly. That's why the trans fat's so colorful.
We're all candy.
But with that being said, I definitely agree. I feel like you don't need to medically transition in order to be trans. That goes for anyone, you know. If you know you feel secure in your, you know, in your gender without having the surgeries, you don't need it. And surgery is expensive.
Right.
It's really expensive. And a lot of insurances aren't covering it. And at the same time, I mean, obviously it is a surgery. There are risks involved with every surgery.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you are afraid of that as well, more power to you. You do not have to do it. So I definitely agree.
Yeah.
How helpful or complicated do you think the internet or being online in general has been for your gender journey?
It's been more helpful than anything to me, like, because, you know, there's always going to be hate online. That's just how the internet is, you know, but it's more helpful than harmful, even with the hate. It's made me more cautious of who to trust, though, and, like, where to put myself so that I stay in a safe space. But when I find those safe spaces, I'm able to connect more and make friends and just have, like, a really good environment to be in.
Definitely. What kind of support or representation do you feel the trans youth of today need?
Probably just more, like, support, I want to say. I noticed after COVID that, like, everybody started to kind of be more, like, shut in and, like, you know, less talkative. Even in, like, supermarkets, you know, you'll just be like, oh, hey, how are you? And it's kind of just like, oh, hi. And, like, I guess I'm more used to where I am, just people being like, oh yeah, like, you know, like, my day's good, how's your day? And, like, starting up, like, a whole conversation. And but, like, there's been a lot of, like, I don't know if I can blame it on that, or I can say that it was COVID that really did it, or maybe just something in the air, I don't know. But, like, I've noticed that, I guess, just for me in general, again, like, that's just where I am and what I've dealt with, but a lot of people are very closed off, I guess. So I think it would be good if there was more people that are willing to be like, hey, if somebody's approaching you just with, like, do you have directions for here? Or, like, hey, how is your day? Sorry, like, I'm, like, if you're standing in line next to somebody and they start asking you, like, a question or having a conversation with you, just to be more open to having a conversation with them. Not everybody's stranger danger, but, you know, somebody might just be trying to, like, talk to somebody and wish you well on your life, you know?
Exactly. Follow-up question. Do you think your growing up would have benefited from the representation that you had just talked about?
Probably. Like I said earlier, I know I had, like, a lot of friends that really introduced me to more things that I wasn't aware of. So I'm very lucky to have had that. But if I had a little more, I might have found out things more quickly. But I feel like the universe had a plan for me. It had, you know, the plan in motion to be like, you're gonna learn this specific thing at this specific time in your life. So it happened the way it did, and I probably wouldn't change my life for anything right now.
Valid. I totally understand that too. I feel like having the trans rep that we have now definitely would have benefited, I feel like, myself, but also a lot of other trans youth. And I feel like the trans youth of today, I feel like a lot of them kind of might not fully understand,
Right.
like, where they were versus, like, where we were versus, like, where we're headed and stuff like that. I always say, like, I hate to get like political or anything like that, just because I feel like transgenderism and us as people, like, they've made our lives political. So it's like being alive is just inherently political for them and for us, which is completely crazy, like wild. But I feel like having that history, having the understanding, definitely is something a lot of kids should know and should understand, if you know, especially in the queer space, because it can be taken for granted very easily. Right.
And like you said, yeah, it's hard not to be political with anything being a part of being trans or just anything LGBTQ in general, because if people immediately assume, you know, like, oh, you're trying to influence and you're trying to manipulate, and it's like, no, we're just trying to keep people educated, and a lot of people assume like, oh, you're gonna tell like a 2-year-old something crazy, and it's like, no, it would be gender appropriate, not gender appropriate. Well, yes, it would be age appropriate is what I mean, to explain gender identity. That is what I was trying to word correctly. It would be age appropriate. Like, you wouldn't explain to a toddler how to operate a car, but you would explain to like a middle schooler, like, hey, you're getting to that age where you would be able to learn how to drive and get your permit when you're in high school. So that would be age appropriate. But you know, it's like, yeah, it's really hard not to explain that, because some people just won't listen, or like they want to be like, oh, this political stuff about it, and it's like, okay, that's not a part of the topic at all.
And they feign their ignorance as well too. I feel like a lot of the times they definitely feign it, because it's like, you know exactly what we're talking about. You know exactly what we're talking about. Like, let's not be daft. Let's not be daft now. Like, you know exactly what we're talking about. You're not slick, and they just don't want to put that on them. I know when the post was going around, people, you know, inherently, whenever they find anything that they don't like, they automatically translate to hate. And, you know, I got a lot of the nasty comments, most of them being, you know, calling me a nasty word for someone who likes kids nastily. I'm like, they would hate to know that I work with kids. I'm like,
over crayons.
Literally,
you're an artist.
Oh my god! I'm just like, y'all would absolutely hate to know that I work at a middle school, and I am also one of the advisors for our LGBT club. Ooh.
They would cry knowing that one famous artist that like draws only with crayons too. They'd cry. They'd freak out.
I'm just like, oh, y'all hate me. It's okay. I understand. You're just not slay. How does your creating, like streaming, art, etc., how does that help you express your gender identity?
I thought this was such an interesting question, because I had to think, but I was like, I think just creating in general is my identity. Like, I've always, like, I don't know, my path in life has changed over the years. Like, obviously, like, I'm a VTuber now, but I started off, like, wanting to really be, like, fully an artist and animator, and, like, that was my entire life, and just in general, like, still, even, like, I made my own model, I rigged my own model, I still draw, but, like, it's shifted more throughout the years of like, oh, I'm just gonna be present here now as like a VTuber and be who I am now. But I don't like, just like creating is who I am. It's been my whole life pretty much since I was literally like 3. Like, and that's what's helped me the most throughout my life too, just being able to make something or have an idea or like have OCs or have storylines or have anything, or even like with my own VTuber lore, like putting that out there is in a way how I express myself, and that's just me. That's always been me.
Valid. Do you know what the Compton cafeteria uprising was?
I do not, but I know Compton, but I was wondering if it was like the Compton I'm thinking of or a different Compton? I'm not so sure, so I don't know.
So, this one, I am going to ask, since I know we are about at the hour and a half mark, do you want to take a quick break? Do you want to go and get something to drink, go to the bathroom, anything like that before we continue? Because this one's a long one.
I think I'm okay. I think I will be all right.
Okay, cool.
But if you need to at any point, let me know too.
Of course. And then there is a follow-up to this, which is, do you know what Stonewall is?
No, and I felt so silly like reading this, and I was like, why was I remembering the Berlin Wall? With the throwing of the bricks, you know? I was like, I was reading this question and I wasn't so sure, and I was like, no, there's no way, there's no link to this, and then I was like, no, I'm thinking of the Berlin Wall with like the people throwing the bricks as it was coming down. Like I said, I'm so bad with history. I felt
that is
so
hilarious.
Silly.
I love that. No, that is so funny.
I felt so silly reading that, and I felt really bad. I was like, oh my god, I'm so ignorant to this stuff. What the fuck?
I will now whenever I think of Stonewall, I'm going to think of the Berlin Wall.
I'm so sorry.
I love that. Thank you so much for making me laugh. Holy crap, that is so funny. I'm gonna go a little deep into this. So chat, if you want to go and get something to drink, you want to do anything, we're gonna be having a little history time.
Yes,
this is a pretty long one, so please. Whoa.
Please take care of yourselves, chat. Please do.
Oh no. My freaking my mic stand, my boom mic stand, I don't know what's going on with it, but it is loose and it just popped off right now.
Oh no!
As I was adjusting my mic. Oh my god. Okay. Can you hear this? Is that better?
It's your mic sounds the same to me on my end. I don't know if they're streaming settings.
Cool. Let me see. Okay. Should be okay now. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It just literally like decided to do that.
Oh no.
Okay, we're good.
VTubing comes with scuff. It's just a part of the job.
Honestly, in the stream without a little bit of scuff. So, in 1966, in the Tenderloin district of San Francisco, it was home to one of the very first trans cultural districts, which was home to many LGBTQIA2S+ patrons. And there was a very popular spot inside of Gene Compton's cafeteria, which was an all-night restaurant in the neighborhood, which was a very popular spot for queer people, and I mean people altogether as well. However, the workers in the restaurant did not like that it was a popular spot for queer folks, as many of the queer folks often, would come out at night, having night working jobs, if you're catching what I'm putting down. And so they would often call on police enforcement to have the queer community taken out, usually by force.
Oh.
So one of those nights, there was a group of trans women. There was a group of trans women who had been fed up with the belligerent harassment and straight up abuse that the police were exuding. And allegedly, one of the trans women was said to be so upset, they threw a full cup of coffee directly in the face of one of the officers trying to take them out, sparking a chaotic uprising, which is an unprecedented moment of trans resistance to police violence.
Huh.
This was 3 years prior to Stonewall as well. And honestly, we might not have known about this if it wasn't for trans historians really digging into the LGBT history as well. Also, I'm going to address a question. So 2S is two-spirited. It is a umbrella term for It is an umbrella term for Native American and Indigenous folks from other places as well who have been adopting 2S, and 2E, I believe, is the other one for Canada. But 2S is for Native American folk who identify with one of their othered genders, whether it's a third gender, fourth gender, etc. I learned a lot more about this recently, actually. In the 19th, we did a trans awareness / Native American History Month stream with the Slay Amazing Crafty Oni, who identifies as Two-Spirit. And so 2S has been added to the LGBT acronym a bit ago, but folks, still just use the broad term of LGBTQ plus or LGBTQIA. But the full one is LGBTQIA2S plus. And I know 2S isn't quite as popularized, so a lot of folks don't know what 2S is. But yeah, I highly recommend doing some research on Two-Spirit as well, because it's very, very fascinating to learn about.
Mm-hmm. And I forgot that I'd seen your post too for Native American representation. I was like, oh yeah, and that's so wonderful that you've done that and that you've collaborated with somebody to do that as well. That's really great. But yeah, like with seeing things like that, it's definitely important to be educated as well. And I know that there's been a lot of even own issues going on there as well, with again more political stuff too, of what's happening to native land, and this has been going on for years and years and years too. But with the water reserves that and just taking land for oil, that's awful. But sometimes the people are doing are the government's pretty much doing and being we own this, and it's no, it doesn't belong to you. This is not your home. You cannot take this land from us. So definitely being educated on that is very important.
Exactly. Now, going forward with the follow-up question of Stonewall. So, a little backstory of Stonewall. As many of us have heard before, Stonewall happened June 28th, 1969, and Marsha P. Johnson was there. And, there was a brick, and it was thrown. But the real story of Stonewall is a lot more nuanced and actually quite revolutionary and fascinating. Sorry.
You're okay.
I didn't want to burp on your ear.
No, you're okay.
So Stonewall Inn, which is located in New York, was an avid meeting place for queer folks of a variety of ages to come meet up, dance, drink, and hook up. Stonewall was actually owned and operated by the Mafia.
Oh.
And the Mafia and other organized crime families would actually own majority of the city's queer bars, clubs, etc. And although homosexuality was technically legal in the state of New York, establishments could not openly serve alcohol to queer customers because of the state liquor authority in New York deemed it as disorderly and unlawful, so they would refuse to sell liquor licenses to many queer establishments. And so many would have their licenses suspended, revoked, and the businesses that didn't were frequently raided by police. So the Mafia was already a big part of many othered communities, especially POC, and they would begin to cater towards these communities, especially the queer community. And the Mafia would actually buy Stonewall as it was originally a straight establishment and reopen it as a queer joint. The Mafia owner, Tony Loria, or Fat Tony as people would call him, would actually bribe police to turn a blind eye to Stonewall, so it was seen as relatively safe. Now, to get around the liquor law, Stonewall was actually owned and operated as a quote-unquote private bottle club, so they wouldn't need a liquor license, and every patron would have to sign in, though many would use fake names. With the bribing of the police keeping them off their back, unfortunately, they would also cut corners in other things, like safety, hygiene, and there was a darker part hidden behind the inn, as it was technically still a dirty business. Watered down drinks sold at exuberant prices, it's a popular thing still done today. Unclean glasses serving drinks, and they would also use it as a space to, distribute drugs. It was the late 60s, early 70s. Drug use was rampant. However, many would understand that without the mafia, shady dealings and all, we may not have had any spaces. And during that day in June, although the mafia would pay off the police, they weren't exempt from state laws. And at the time, many queer folks were gaining tractions as we were gaining small municipal councils in different states, and that scared lawmakers. We had traction, and that subsequently enacted an uptick of raids against LGBTQIA spaces. And that's where Stonewall comes in. Though this was another ordinary raid where police came in, it was not an ordinary instance, as queer folk had been really fed up with this mistreatment. One of the catalysts people like to say was that during the same week that Stonewall happened, it was also the same week that Judy Garland actually took her own life.
Oh.
And one of the very, very popular phrases in queer history is being a friend of Dorothy, which was a code to say, I'm queer.
Now I know where that's from.
Yeah, so if someone says, are you a friend of Dorothy? They're basically asking.
Oh. Right, because I'd heard that, but now I know where that's from. That's so interesting.
Mm-hmm. And Judy Garland being a proud LGBT activist as well during her time. She had many queer friends. And so one of the other catalysts was a butch lesbian named Storme Delaver, who threw the first punch at Stonewall. That's right, not a brick, and not by Marsha P. Johnson either. Though we do love and appreciate Marsha and her partner Sylvia Rivera, who would become large parts and large components in the queer uprising and of Stonewall, they actually didn't get to Stonewall until around 2 a.m. on the first day, as Stonewall actually lasted 6 consecutive nights. Now, Stonewall is obviously a huge testament to queer folks, trans folks, and our struggles, but the main reason Stonewall is so important is because of the large amount of mass media coverage, as well as subsequent annual Pride celebrations and remembrances. And at the time, Stonewall was still very important, but unfortunately, the uptick in support for queer folk would only primarily be for white, cis, queer men, as at the time, POC, women, and trans individuals were long ways away from receiving the same support. And so this Trans Awareness Month, we would like to honor all of those who came before us and the events that have led us to having the rights we have now. But we're here, we're queer, and we will not be pushed into silence.
Exactly. But that's so interesting, and thank you for educating me and educating my chat as well, if anybody hadn't known on my end of that. Because that's so important, and I feel like I try not to get down on myself for not knowing, because like a lot of people, any age you could not know something, but now I'm so much more grateful for knowing, and I'm grateful for being here as well and being invited onto your collaboration month.
Of course, and please, I always say never feel bad for not knowing, because there are people who don't know and they don't want to know.
Right, that's true.
So I feel like not knowing and then being excited to learn, something I always welcome with open arms.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will say this next section is a little bit more on the emotional side, just because of the reference of these questions. But what are some of the biggest challenges you feel the trans community faces today?
So for me, what I've mostly been seeing on my side of things as well is that there's a lot of just like, oh, I breathed in weird. Oh, I'm gonna drink some water really quick.
Take your time.
Oh. I haven't had like a big just chatting stream in a long time too, so though back on my train of thought though, like what I've seen on my end is a lot of erasure or villainization and just hate, and like people, the majority of what I see is like the big conversation is that like people assume that majority like trans women are dangerous, and the whole like bathroom situation, like, oh, like don't let trans women in the bathroom because they're going to be nasty and gross and be like, there's just so much villainization there. And I think it's important for people to have more tolerance for that like if we just want to, like, people just want to pee. Everybody has to pee, and not everybody is going to be like I think I said earlier, to like stranger danger or be somebody that's like a criminal, you know. Yes, there can be people that are criminals out there that are trying to misuse a label in order to be like, to frame or to be like villainous or evil with their intentions, but like not everybody's evil or trying to do something like that. So, but assuming that everyone is, and victimizing mostly trans women, is just, in my opinion, very wrong and very hateful and very just not okay to do that.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like, especially with the era that we live in today, you know, it can be so hard being just a trans person, whether or not you're on the internet, whether you're just in real life. And I feel like it's like, I feel like it's also so weird when people mention like the bathroom issue, right?
Right.
Because it's like, people just want to piss.
Yeah.
They just want to piss.
I don't even go into public restrooms because they're all filthy, so...
Literally, no, they're so nasty. What would you want to do in there?
Yeah.
Honestly. Hi, Monica. But also, if you are saying, okay, you don't want trans women in, you know, female bathrooms, you're saying you want the trans men in your bathroom?
Yeah.
And that would make you feel better?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I think you would freak out.
Yeah. There's so many videos too, or like there was one that went viral, oh gosh, maybe a year or so now, of this woman who was not identifying as trans, but she had a lady come up to her and be like, oh, you're trans, you need to get out, like, and she's like, she was done too. She was like, I'm just washing my hands. And I think this was at a movie theater as well, and it was like, no, you need to leave, you can't be in here. And she's like, I don't have to prove anything to you, like, and she should feel very proud for what she did, because she didn't give her any information, she didn't like have to try to prove anything at all. She was just like, no, I have a right to be here, I'm just using the bathroom, leave me alone, you know. And it crazy stuff.
Literally. I know we've touched on this a little bit, but how do you personally balance safety and visibility online?
So I definitely feel like I'm more of like the quieter voice in the trans community, you know, not like I'm not super out there, but I do have like my pronouns in my bios and my Twitch rules and everything, you know. But for me, I'm definitely that quieter voice, like in the back with my flags and everything, like yay, but of kind of more like quiet, but not. I'm able to be loud when I have to be, especially when it comes to something important, you know, and especially when I saw, you know, your applications to be here for Trans Awareness Month and for a week and just remembrance in general. I was like, oh, it feels right to be here, and it feels right to be able to speak out against things and to talk and be educated as well, you know. So despite like being and having that quieter voice, you know, it's for me just being able to like approach things when I feel like safe to do so and not feel like so overwhelmed, because I think a lot of people too, like you said, like it how did you word it earlier? You said it doesn't matter, just advocacy's existence, I believe is what you said. I think right, yeah.
Existence is resistance.
Right. And you know, like for people too that are like struggling with that with me, and that's like the same, having that same thought process of like, oh, I feel like I need to be more involved, or like I need to do something more, you know, like if you do what makes you comfortable. And I tell that to myself as well, you know, I'm like, do what makes you feel comfortable. If that means, you know, sitting behind a screen and retweeting things for trans awareness, then that's what you gotta do, or liking posts, or, you know, and maybe some other day you could be commenting, or some other day you could be like here, like any VTuber could be here talking to you as well too, you know, like, or just being a part of like walks, or being a part of you know, just what is it, oh my god, I'm blinking on the word. For parades, and for you know, just in general, like being more out there. It's just baby steps, and whatever you feel more comfortable doing, that's you do it. Never force yourself to do anything.
Exactly. Sorry, my Nana came in, she's like, why is it hot in here? I was like, it's my computer.
It's my GPU.
What is something you wish that cis allies understood better about the trans community?
Probably not overstepping, and I feel like this is more just sometimes with allies being too ally, like a little too much. Just like take it and just dial it down just a little bit. Because that's great when people are trying to be there and to understand and to support. But I think the support has a stopping point. And I know that I've experienced this as well myself, of meeting allies that are like this, that are a little too loud and a little too like, oh, but this is about me too. And it's like, no. That's great that you're supportive, and that's wonderful that you're supportive, but when you are talking over somebody, especially like a personal experience I would have is like having people correct pronouns to a stranger instead of me correcting them myself. That's when I'm like, I appreciate that you are trying to be there for me, but I think, you know, like I can do it myself. I'm grown up, so thank you, but like just dial it down just a little bit.
100%. No, yeah, I definitely understand that. I feel like I've heard that a lot, which is like, you know, I totally agree, and I think it's so, I want to say funny, but I feel like it's kind of funny that people, when we talk about allies, it's like, yes, thank you, like, now listen and shut up.
Yeah. That's the crazy thing though too, but like that if that's gonna be the biggest worry too, of like, okay, just dial it down a little bit, I'd rather that be like the biggest problem rather than somebody like painting their house rainbow and being like, I'm the best ally in the entire world, look at me. Like if you know, like I'd rather it be just to let me correct somebody like saying my wrong pronouns myself. Like I'm glad that that's like the biggest worry, you know.
Exactly. No, that's exactly, you know, what I feel like people, I don't want to say they don't understand, but it's like, yes, you're an ally. Thank you so much for everything you're doing. Thank you for speaking up, but also make sure to listen. Yeah. Make sure to listen to what you're representing and what you're helping support, because obviously we appreciate the support, we love the support, but if you're, I sometimes I feel like when allies are so advocative, they're not remembering that they are there to support, and they think that they are now a part, and it's like, you're here, you can support us, but you're not, you know, whatever you're supporting, and it's just like,
I think the biggest controversy too is like straight pride and being like, oh, it's a part of Pride Month, and it's like, well, no. And I hate to like exclude anybody from anything, because it's like, oh, like I want, you know, everybody to be like, yes, we all love and accept each other no matter what, but pride is for specifically like people that have been or have felt oppressed for a reason. It's like you get to be no hate to anybody either, but like you get to be straight 24/7 365 days out of the year. But when I say anything about me being trans or me being gay, then it's a problem, and then it's seen as evil or just not right, you know? Like, I have I have felt unsafe, and you get to live your life feeling that, like, safe from, because nobody's gonna be like, oh, you're straight, oh, that's wrong, you know? And I, like I said, like, I don't want to be hateful or come off as wrong. And I know this is like a super touchy subject a lot of the time as well. But, you know, like, it's things like that.
100%. 100%. No, I definitely understand that, honestly. What is a moment of trans joy or trans community that you have experienced recently? I'm so sorry, I blanked on the word experience.
Oh no, that's okay. No, that's okay. Okay, wait, I lost my notes too, so you're okay. Where were we? There we go. Okay, wait. So actually for me, like, I haven't seen a lot of, like, you know, like big righteousness things happen, because sometimes you see people just get put in their place when they're being hateful, and it's like, oh yes, like shut them down. But for me, it actually was the collab and seeing like how many trans VTubers are out there. That was so just like really nice, because like I know my friends, but it's nice to see strangers, and it's nice to see like a larger community that I'm not aware of. And just seeing people that are there, I'm like, oh my god, there's more. There's more of us. There's more trans VTubers. And I had prior been like following people as well too, and I recognized like a couple of names when I was looking at the applications as well. So it was like, it was nice to be like, oh, I know you. But like it was so nice though to see just strangers and be like, hi, I'm trans, and this is how I identify, and you know, and just being like, oh my gosh, there's so many people. There's so many.
Exactly. I feel like it's wonderful to kind of just like going through and seeing that. I loved seeing all of the trans creators like popping off and showing their love, and it was amazing. It was so wonderful. If you could talk to your younger self, what little piece of wisdom would you give them? And this doesn't have to inherently be like trans wisdom or anything, but just something you would like to talk to them about.
So I didn't really have any like wisdom, but I just wrote like a simple sentence for me to hopefully never forget, of just, thank you for not giving up so that I could be where I am today.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's really sweet. Do you know what year? Yeah, no, I mean, that's completely valid.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes the shortest sentences are the sweetest, you know?
Yeah.
Do you know what year the first clinical center to support trans individuals was opened?
No, I don't.
So the first clinical center to support trans individuals was actually opened in 1920 by Magnus Hersfeld, who was studying third sexes and was supportive of the idea that these third sexes existed naturally. And so he proposed the term, which I like. I think it's kind of like, ooh, so official. But the term was sexual intermediaries. And that was for non-conforming people, and it would recognize that there was a large spectrum of sexes and sexualities and genders. And it was such a huge win for the trans community that this clinic was open, especially at such a time, as studies of sexual reassignment surgery would actually stem from this facility, which housed an immense library on sexuality and gender, with books, diagrams, and even protocols for MTF and FTM surgery. Now, unfortunately, as the clinic celebrated its first decade, its first 10 years opening during 1930, that's the same year a certain political party in Germany was also growing rapidly. And so, unfortunately, the Institute did come to an end 3 years later when it was seized and swarmed and burned on May 6th, 1933. And we dare not forget the carnage, as it was one of the first and largest book burnings that devastated and destroyed years of transgender research.
I wonder, before we move on to anything else too, that just jogged my memory for something that I wanted to ask you. What are your thoughts on the Danish girl? What are your thoughts on Lily? Because I know she was an actual person that went through gender reassignment surgery.
Yes. So thoughts about the movie, or thoughts about just
the movie as well? Sure, but like just in general, that time period and how well they were able to replicate that. I guess a little bit of the movie, however, how well they were able to replicate that based on history, to like show us of this generation of who Lily was.
Well, I know the Danish girl, like the story is based off of Lily and Gerda, but it is a bit fictionalized, like dramatized, like female husband.
Gotcha.
But I feel like obviously during the time periods, I feel like it's a little unfair for me to judge or say anything really particularly just because of the time period. I feel like it's a very nuanced like take where there is stuff that we could say about it. Obviously there's different progressives that weren't exactly reached. Maybe there was different methods and different things that were going on, but using modern terms for non-modern like history can sometimes be a little bit, I feel like, harmful, especially when it comes to topics like this. For instance, like when we talk about Marsha P. Johnson, a lot of people get angry when people call Marsha, when people don't call Marsha a trans woman. But Marsha didn't identify as a trans woman. She identified as a drag queen, as they used that term during that time period. But I do feel like the movie, obviously, I wish they would have used a trans actor.
Yeah.
100%. I 1,000% wish they used a trans actor.
Yeah, as lovely as that actor is, and as lovely as, like, as any performer can be, yeah, it would have been more, I would have enjoyed it more, definitely, seeing that. But I, like, like I said earlier, like, I come from, like, a Hollywood family, like, watching movies like that, like, loving, like, family that loves film, and having seen that movie myself, I was like, I was just curious, because I wasn't fully aware of, like, the history behind it as well, and just being like, there has to be more. Like, there has to be more to this that, like, I haven't seen or haven't been educated on. So I just wanted to know your thoughts on that. But yeah, I definitely would have liked to see a trans actor, 100%.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there's a bunch of key differences in the movie versus like the real life situation as well. But I feel like representation wise, obviously the Danish girl was pretty important for the time period. I think it released like 2016.
I believe so, yes.
And was good for the time, but I feel like if it came out now, it would definitely be like almost protested and seen as like almost a negative thing, because it should have been by a trans actor. But
Right.
like, there's a lot of different things I could say about it that I'm just gonna say I like the representation, but I do feel like there should have been a little bit more research done.
Fair. Yeah. Step in the right direction, but not. It could have been better.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But thank you for that. Yeah, I was just curious because that's like a
Yeah, of
older,
course.
like I had remembered that movie and I was like, oh, I'm just curious. I remember seeing that, obviously like, when it came out like years ago. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, for some trans people, Danish Girl was like their awakening. It's when they first
Yeah.
saw, because I feel like the story of the Danish Girl of Lily is one that wasn't really well known until like the movie came out. So I mean, obviously there's things we can appreciate from it. But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely just a little bit more research.
Yeah, same thing as like completely different topic of like not recognizing the women that worked in NASA for Hidden Figures.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And me and my mom,
Exactly.
when we saw that movie, had no idea that there was women in NASA, especially like POC women in NASA.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
mean, the movie was Hidden Figures, where they were.
Yeah,
they were,
yeah.
like,
So things like that's like super super good to be like if you know of it, then like to do like research and educate yourself on after the
Yes,
fact as
yes.
well.
Mhm. We are now on our final little segment.
Yeah.
Guys, I want to thank you again, Moni, for coming in and
Yes.
being a guest here. I really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm having such a good time too, and like being like almost brand new to VTubing too. This felt like such a good opportunity, and like I felt so just honored to be here as well and be like, hey,
Yes.
come on, we're gonna have a little talk and we're gonna talk about really important things. And I was like, this is perfect. Like this is so nice, This is such a good opportunity, and like thank you for hosting this as well too, because you must be tired like streaming like pretty much every day of the month, right? Like that's a lot of streams. So
I for Pride, I actually had done like 2 to 3 interviews a day for the entire month of June. Since I don't work in June or July, that's what I would do. So I would just stream. So this is a brisk walk for me.
I streamed for 12 hours recently for Halloween for the Immune Deficiency Foundation, which we raised $300 for that, which was amazing. But like that for me, like was just like so much. Like I went to bed that Halloween and I was like, all right, good night, everybody. Like I could barely talk at the end of the stream. I was just like, all right, I'm gonna take a nap for the next like another 12 hours.
Yes, no, but that's so honestly valid and everything. I completely understand that. It's like honestly, I think for my 24th birthday, I did 24 times 2, so I did 48-hour stream, and I literally fell asleep during stream.
Oh, fair.
It was crazy. I definitely know if I do another like large stream like that, I'm definitely gonna take a break. But I was like, I'm going straight.
No sleep. I gotta go.
Exactly. But what is something that gives you hope for the future generations of trans youth?
Just like knowing that there are people out there that are always willing to help and educate and be allies for the next generation. I think that's the most important thing, that there's no matter what, there's always going to be somebody out there that's willing to help and listen, and just like if somebody's asking for help and needing help, that there will be help there for you.
100%. Definitely. If you could define the term trans joy in one sentence, what would it be?
So what's interesting is I didn't know this term and I wasn't aware and was like, what is this like? What is like what people are mostly talking about for this? And then I wrote a little sentence that, may not be correct for the description of it, but again, like made sense for me. So what I wrote for myself is that I'm grateful to wake up every morning to friends that don't quit no matter what, and a partner that shows me what true and unconditional love is.
I love that.
Yeah. So I was like, I know some of the things were like, I think one of the like the description definition was like, oh, trans joy is like seeing like inclusive areas in a store. But for me, I was like, you know, like I felt like that writing that for me was just like what was trans joy for me, having understood the description.
Yeah, definitely. What does the future of trans representation look like to you?
For me, that would be hopefully like more inclusivity in the VTuber industry. And I was thinking about that because it's like it's mostly women that are able to join like large projects or groups because of rules set by the staff. So I think if there was just more like larger scale places that are like, hey, you don't have to like be born a woman to be here, you know, you don't have to be AFAB to be here, like you can be anybody, and that if doesn't matter who you are, like if you're talented, you're talented. So just I think
Exactly,
especially like in this space for VTubing, like having more of that would be super important, and I think it would, you know, just reach like many things, and there would be more tolerance and there would be more love from that.
1000%. And now, to wrap us up, do you have any final words for folks celebrating Transgender Awareness Month with us?
Just thank you for everybody being here, and I know, like, for me, on my end, this was, like, a huge thing to be invited on for a collab, and, you know, like, thank you again for having me here, and thank you for educating me as well. Like, obviously, like, I'm here, like, not knowing things and saying shit about the Berlin Wall, so, you know, like, thank you for educating me, because, like I said, I'm more of, like, a smaller voice in the community, and I'm kind of just, like, here, and I exist, and I'm kind of nervous and shy and a little guy sometimes, but, you know, like, being out there more and being educated is super important, so, you know, thank you for having me here, and, you know, like, letting the little guys on, you know? letting the people that want to be here and be educated, like, you know, super important. So I feel educated now, and I feel like, oh, I get this and it makes sense, and, you know, and like now I know things that I didn't know. So hopefully that was like that for people on and my chat and my followers as well, that are like didn't know and wanted to know, because super important stuff. So, you know.
Definitely. I thank you again for coming on. I appreciate it. And I always say, you know, it doesn't matter how small you are, how big you are. I feel like if you have interest in the topic, and I feel like being able to have what little platform I have, and being able to share it with other creators is something that I'm very proud to do. And for as a follow-up, do you have anything you're going to be celebrating soon? Any moments, any shout outs, events? Get spotlighted!
So for me, we just had like our big event of the year, which is every Halloween I do like streams, and this year was like the big 12-hour stream where I was like, we're gonna do charity, we're gonna do like a bunch of events. We carved pumpkins, we gave away art, we gave away Steam gift cards. So like every Halloween, that's what I do. And eventually maybe we'll do something for Christmas, you know, and my dream is to have enough people and enough funding so that we can raise thousands of dollars for charity and give away like a PlayStation or something, you know, like that's what I'd like to do. But for now, it's just kind of like gaming. Like, I'm gonna play Amanda the Adventurer 3. You know, like, my friend gifted me all the Amanda Adventurer games, which I love now. They're so fun. I love puzzles and things like that. I host a short little, like, I guess it's a series. I do Cryptomania over on my channel, where we're going over all of the creepypastas, like, from my childhood. We just did the Tales doll. And we're going to either tomorrow, because I usually stream Tuesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, tomorrow do the next Cryptomania, and that will be about a topic that I'll reveal later. I like to let people guess the titles when they come in. And then as well, I'm still playing Raincode, which is a part of the Danganronpa franchise, or at least not Danganronpa necessarily, but same company, you know, like theming and everything. And then I'm also working on like the lore video for my VTuber model and like everything for that, and like I have a bunch of plans for next year, so it's kind of all like stuff that I'm planning that's coming up, so it's just like, bear with me, I've got some fun stuff, but nothing for the end of the year right now, unfortunately.
Of course, of course. Well, thank you so much for being on and for showing us your love and everything. We really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so
I
much.
also have, do you have any fellow trans creators on right now that you would like to raid into for Trans Awareness Month?
Let me see. And while I'm looking to see if anybody of my friends that are trans are live, I wanted to ask I completely forgot during the interview as well. Do you know of any homelessness charities that are LGBTQ? Because I had originally wanted to, for my Halloween stream, to do a charity for people that are experiencing homelessness due to being like kicked out of their homes, you know, for that. And I had looked at True Colors, which is owned by Gwen Stefani, I believe. It's the individual that sung, you know, the song True Colors. So but I don't know if that charity's still active. So if you know any charities like that, you can even DM me as well too to let me know. But like, I want to make sure they're still active because I had reached out and done research, but it seemed like they were like there was no funding there to keep them open. I was like, I don't want to send like thousands of dollars or into the void, you know, and not make sure. I want to make sure that they're actually going to help trans youth, you know, especially homeless trans youth. So.
A lot of homeless trans youth have centers, and a lot of them have centers. So if you want to look a little more local, there are some local that I know of. But I wouldn't want to like dox or anything like that because that's about the only ones I really know. When I mean, obviously on like True Colors, I know that there was what was it? I think Chaperone like donated a large amount to a certain charity. But the ones I know of, at least right now, are like GSA Network, Pride Foundation, Trevor Project, Trans Lifeline, Lambda Legal. I'm on the Lambda Legal stream team as well. And Lambda Legal is fighting a lot for LGBTQIA laws. So they are doing a huge amount on the legal side of stuff. But yeah, I would say look up the centers, LGBTQIA homeless centers, because that's where you're going to be able to find like the most luck, and they will be very loving and accepting from any donations.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, yeah, I'll look into that because like that's something that hits close to home for me. Like my followers know, like, and I know I mentioned you before the prior stream too, before starting the stream, that I used to be homeless for 4 months, and that's always something that's affected me. And it's like I want to help other people that have gone through that because it's really difficult. So you know, just spreading the love there. But I did find my friend is live. My friend Ame Hoshizora is live. So he is trans. And I do have other trans friends as well that I'm like, oh, if that's okay with you, with me mentioning them before we end the stream as well.
Yeah, of course.
My friends that are trans, and like I have many friends that are also allies as well, but it's all about the trans folk today, guys. I'm sorry. I love you guys so much, but my friends would be Stella Fos, who's non-binary. Obviously, like Ame is live right now. Ame uses he/him pronouns. I'm just starting to know Turnip Time VT. Just Jenny, EXE is trans, and then my friend 05 Emerald 05 is trans, and then my friend C Dreamer also uses they them pronouns.
Slay! I love that. I love that.
But if one of my mods can shout out Ame so that Chewy can get Ame's channel, that would be great.
Yes. I was just about to ask if you would like to. You can either send it to me, you can type it in chat, anything like that will help.
Yes, thank you, Roger. If you can get Ame and the shout out so that we can raid Ame.
Yes. And as we are wrapping up, tonight we have laughed, we have learned, and we've lifted up the beauty of transgender joy, love, inclusivity, and diversity. And remember, trans awareness isn't just 1 month, 1 week, or 1 stream. It's something we carry with us every day in how we create, support, and celebrate one another. Every pronoun, every journey, and every sparkle of self-expression is part of what makes this world shine brighter. So keep being loud, keep being proud, and keep finding joy in your truth. To my trans siblings, you are powerful, you are precious, and you are so deeply loved. And to our allies and chat friends, thank you for showing up, learning, and celebrating with us. And until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and stay gloriously and unapologetically you. As we are wrapping up, I want to say thank you again. I know I sound like a broken record, but I do appreciate you coming on. I am doing these for the rest of November. The only day I do not, or like some of the only days I don't have anything planned is Thanksgiving Day. I'm going to be with family, but I'll be posting different things. And then I believe most of my month is pretty booked. But yeah, I'm honestly so happy to be able to spend this time with everyone. It's been a really wonderful time to go through. Here, let me make sure to go through.
Wait, yeah, that's all my roach. I also like quickly went to his page and was like, okay, copy link.
Valid. All right, here we go. There's the raid. And then after the 10 seconds, whenever you're ready, we can I can count down and we can press raid at the same time.
Yes, let me get that on mine, because I don't know why, for some reason on my end, like every time I hit raid, everything lags for me.
Valid. I also have this little special one if you want to copy and paste that, or if you have your own raid message, that's more than fine as well.
Okay, I'm gonna get mine started. I do not have raid messages, but anybody with emojis or anything, feel free to use mine. If you have mine as well, the little chat bats, feel free to do so. But there we go. I'm gonna lag, but thank you so much for having me again. This has been so wonderful and so educational, and I'm so like just grateful to be here and learn, you know?
I appreciate it. Of course, I'm so glad. All right, I'll count us down and we can press raid at the same time, okay?
Alrighty, thank you so much.
All
yes.
Right. Of course. All right, 5, 4,